Hi, and welcome to Grace by Faith Free Yourself Fridays. So, I'm so happy you're continuing to join me each and every Friday as we dive into the grace of God, the love of God, the peace of God, like all that He is and all that we are blessed to experience Him. We just cannot wrap our heads around who God is, the characters of God. Like, they are mind-blowing, His character, and that He remains the same regardless of us, that He remains the same. And so one of the things that I wanted us to talk about this week is self-love. And that has been a journey for me. Because I'm thinking it's something that I have to do. Like, you got to work out, you got to eat better, you got to go get a massage. And God has really helped me to know that, like, self-love is first acknowledging that you are worthy of love. It's acknowledging and accepting that you are worthy of God's unconditional love. I did an experiment this week, or a session I had this week, trying to really tap into a time or a scenario, really trying to envision a scenario when I had unconditional love for someone. And I'm like, okay, it's with my children. Like, it's with my grandson. And like, it just kept coming. Like, I'm like, I can't envision a time when I've loved somebody unconditionally. And like, even though I really wanted to, it was like something was tapped to it. Like, it was because they were my family, or it was because it was my grandson, or it was because like they had done something for me, or it was because I felt like pity on a person. Like, it was always attached to a condition. And I recognized that it was so hard for me to envision unconditional love for someone else because it was hard for me to love myself unconditionally the way God loves me unconditionally. And so I want to talk to us today about unconditional love, and like that God loves us so unconditionally. Like, before He created the heavens and the earth, like, He knew the love that He had for us. And when you look at the creation in Genesis chapter 1, God talks about how He spoke these things into existence. But when you look at how He created man, He stooped down and He took dirt. And then He breathed His life, His breath into us to give us life. He spoke all of these other things, the moon, the stars, the animals. But when it came to us, to man and woman, He stooped down and He put a piece of Himself in us, His breath that gave us life. Because God's breath is in you, you should love yourself. And you should love yourself and be accepting of yourself the way God loves you and is accepting of you. He does not change. And His love for you does not change. And so I'm asking you to take a little bit of time throughout today and this week to really think about the conditions that you put on yourself. Like, how much we weigh, how beautiful we are, how long our hair is, what kind of jobs we have, if we get our orders out the door on time. All the things that we equate to, like, should we be proud of ourselves? Like, are we deserving of love? Like, if we're married, or like all these constructs. And think about the ways that people try to show you love that you may not receive because you've put up these walls or these constructs that tell us, like, that's not what love is. So, in Psalms 8, the psalmist talks about the love God has for us. He says, Lord, oh Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. You have set your glory in the heavens. You have established a stronghold against your enemies. And in verse 3, it says, when I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have set in place, what is mankind that you are mindful of them? Human beings that you care for them. You have made them a little lower than the angels and crowned them with glory and honor. You made them rulers over the works of your hands. You put everything under their feet. That's what God thinks about us. He loves us unconditionally, even though we're not deserving. His grace just keeps on gracing. And so today, think about, like, I had to think and ask myself, like, why don't I like when my husband tap me on the butt? He's like, girl, you looking good, you looking fine. I'm like, don't do that. I don't like to be touched. You know, I'm not a piece of meat. But I'm my husband's piece of meat. We one another's piece of meat. And so over the years, I've told myself that, like, touch is not how I receive love. It's not how I give love. I've told my children, like, I ain't the touchy-feely mommy. I don't give out hugs and kisses. But that is a lie. I have been lying to myself. And really, Satan has been brainwashing us to think that the way that we desire to be loved, that we're not worthy to receive. And so if we think we can't receive it, you know you can't give it. And so this week, think about how much God loves you. And then give yourself that. Give yourself that. Give yourself what you need. Receive what God has left here on this earth. And that's his unconditional love. And receive that and know that and accept it because his breath is in you. His breath is in you. The very essence of you he loves. Because he left a piece of himself in you. So you know he cares about you. So, love on yourself this week. Love on yourself every day. Receive love in ways that you would say, like, that's not my love language. It probably is. It probably could be. If you opened up your mind to receive it. And to know that you are deserving of it. Not because of any titles or any accomplishments or all the things or knowledge that we think we have. But because God's breath is in you. Ain't no conditions. Ain't no limits to the amount of love that you are deserving of. And there's no limits on the amounts that you can therefore give when you receive unto yourself first. All right. I love you. I'm thinking about you. I'm praying with and for you. And guess what? God loves you more. Be blessed.